Your homework tonight is one word problem over converting in the customary system. So if you have not done so already, please take your word problem and glue it to a sheet of notebook paper so that you can show your work on your paper and not fit it all in on this one little word problem on this page. All right, so Lindsay went to the store to buy ingredients to make cookies for the Jones Middle School Student Council. She bought 3 1/2 pounds sugar, 12 ounces of baking soda, 2 pounds brown sugar, 7 pounds of chocolate chips, 5 1/2 pounds of flour, 2 1/2 pounds of pecans. And the question is asking what was the total weight in ounces of the ingredients she bought? And you're to justify your answer. So when you're justifying, you can justify your answer by showing your work, and then you're going to answer the question. So to begin with, you want to use your notes that we took on converting. So you want to be sure to have your math journal out because you're going to need your formula chart. And then your notes over here where it explains what you're to do for each of your lines. So I'm going to begin by just making a list of all the ingredients and getting ready to convert. So I know that we have sugar, and the sugar is in pounds, and I need my pounds to be in the ounces. So if I start with my 3 lines and my 2 equal signs, I know I'm comparing pounds with ounces because that's what we're wanting our final answer in ounces. So I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. And I can get that by looking at my formula chart. So I'm looking over here, right here. 1 pound is 16 ounces. All right. Now I know that I'm not looking at fluid ounces because I'm not looking at, so we have ounces here in the volume section, but the reason why we know that we're looking at the weight and mass is because pounds is only listed here in weight and mass. So pounds is here and we're converting it to 16 ounces. All right, not fluid ounces. So 1 pound is 16 ounces and we have 3 1/2 pounds of sugar. So I can just simply convert this to a quick decimal, 3 5/10. Or if you choose to, you can do your pounds. You can do 3 pounds and then figure out what 1/2 pound is. Okay, it's up to you, but I'm going to do it like this. So you're going to go from what you know to what you don't know. So we're going this way. How do we get from 1 to 3 5/10? Well, times 3 5/10. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. So I have, I'm going to do 16 times 3 5/10. Move my decimal out and record it. Okay, so we're going to multiply now. 5 times 6, that's 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Add a 0. 6 times 3, that's 18. And 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 0, 16, 5. So that gives us 560, but I'm not done. I need to put my decimal back in. My decimal is here. I need to move it back in 1. So that gives us 56. So sugar is 56 ounces. Okay, and I'm going to keep doing that until I have all of the other ones done. So next one is 12 ounces of baking soda. Notice it's already in ounces, so I don't need to do anything there. Right here, 2 pounds of brown sugar. So brown sugar, we're comparing pounds to ounces. 1 pound is 16 ounces. And then they give us 2 pounds of brown sugar. I go from what I know to what I don't know. Times 2 times 2. 16 times 2 is 32. So brown sugar is 32 ounces. Okay, now I have chocolate chips. We're comparing pounds to ounces still. One pound is 16 ounces, and they give us 7 pounds. Sorry. I go from what I know to what I don't know. 1 times 7 is 7, so I need to do 16 times 7. That is 42 and 11. So that's 112 ounces. Okay, the last two I have fractions again. I'm just going to do the same thing like I did in number 1. So flour, pounds to ounces. 1 pound is 16 ounces, and they give us 5 and a half. So I'm going this way, times 5 and a half, times 5 and a half. So 16 times 5 and a half. Move my decimal out and record. 5 times 6, that is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Add a 0. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. I'm going to add those. 8, 8, 0. I need to move my decimal back in. And that gives me 88 ounces. All right, and the last one on my list is pecans. Comparing pounds to ounces. And we have 1 pound is 16 ounces, and they give us 2 and a half pounds. I'm going this way, times 2 and a half, times 2 and a half. So then I need to do 16 times 2 and a half. Move my decimal out and record. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. Add a 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 0. 400, but I need to move my decimal back in to here. And so this is 40. 40 ounces. All right, so now I have everything listed in ounces. It says, what is the total weight of the ingredients you bought? So I have to figure out my total. That means I need to add all of my numbers together. So my sugar was 56 ounces plus the 12 ounces of baking soda. And I'm going to add 2 at a time because it's a little bit easier and quicker. So that's 8 and 6 plus the brown sugar. The brown sugar was 32 ounces. That's 10, and that is 100 ounces so far for those 3. And then chocolate chips was 112 ounces. That gives me 212. Next is flour. Flour was 88 ounces. So now we're at 300 ounces. And then pecans was 40. All right, so my final answer is, I'm going to write it down here, the total weight of the ingredients was 340 ounces. So my justification is all the work that I did on my paper, and then here, down here is my final answer. Okay, you have to have the work to show your justification.